well on today is Thursday, November 30th, 2023. I am looking at the chart for the upcoming new moon, which is on December 12th. Um, I'm supposed to be writing my astrology column for the month of December, and I'm doing it, but I'm doing it in my own way, which is very slowly and with lots of breaks. And so, yeah, that is what's happening in this moment. But yeah, I got the chart pulled up, and so I thought that we might could look at it together. You want to look at it together? You want to look at it together? Let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. Flip it. Bam. Okay, so this is me on my favorite website for checking transits, which is astroseek.com. Let's see. So here is the exact moment that the new moon happens. And I'm looking at the exact moment because I'm casting a chart for that exact moment because I want to understand how the new moon might affect my energies. And I want to talk about how you can figure that out for yourself as well. So, the exact moment that the moon is new in Sagittarius is on December 12th, 2023. What did I just say? 2023. At what time is that? 3:10 in the PM. But that's specific time because I'm in Oakland. So on that moment, the chart looks like this. And we know that it is a new moon because the sun and moon are conjunct exactly at 20 degrees. This is the symbol for the sun, the symbol for the moon. And we can see that they are both at 20 degrees here. And that they are in the sign of Sagittarius. I will offer up that we would know if it was a full moon if the sun and moon were exactly opposite. So if the sun was in Sagittarius and the moon was down here in Gemini, it's a symbol for Gemini. But that's not the case. It's a new moon. And a new moon I think of as an opportunity to begin a cycle. It's at that night there looks like there's no moon in the sky. It's completely dark. And when I think about complete darkness, I think about planting a seed, and what will grow, what will become of that seed that's been planted. So, yeah, that's why I'm looking at that chart. So yeah, new cycle in the Sagittarius area of our chart. For me, that's the first house. I'm curious about what house that is for you. Um, can I see the chat at the same time? We'll see. But yeah, we will look at the Sagittarius house of our chart to understand what cycle is beginning. So, like I said, for me, first house, something to do with my identity might be shifting, um, or rather than shifting, beginning something anew. New aspects of my identity or the way that I present myself or, the way that I move through the world. When I think about Sagittarius, I think about it being an open mind. So I wonder also how my belief systems might change in a way that affects my sense of self. Um, so yeah, looking to see what house you have Sagittarius in to understand what new cycle you might be beginning. I also want to look that at this 20th degree. The 20th degree is known as a Cancerian degree, so it would add a little bit of a Cancerian flavor to this transit. And so that makes me question about how I might need to nurture myself or be more when I think about Cancer, I think about nurturing. I think about family, ancestry, that kind of thing. So I'm wondering about the role for me because of Sagittarius being my first house. I wonder about the role of self care in this new cycle for me. I also wonder if I need to figure out some new ways to connect with my ancestors. and chosen family that might affect my identity. Again, first house things. So that's pretty much all of the information, or most of the information that I'm gathering from just looking at this section of the chart. And then I want to see what kind of aspects this new moon is making to other planetary placements in the chart. And so I'm looking at anything that's around 20 degrees. And for me, I like to keep what is known as a tight orb. Basically, I'm looking at anything from like 18 to like 22. Some other astrologers will use like a 10-degree orb, so like 5 degrees on either side. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I like to keep it tight. So yeah, anything around 20, anything around 20. Oh, the nodes. We've got the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra at 21 degrees. So that's part of this new moon picture. Anybody else? I see this Uranus here at 19 degrees. I'm gonna say that that's part of the aspect that we're looking at. Um, and yeah, I think that's most of what I'll count. Some astrologers might look at the influence of Neptune here because it's at 24 degrees. Just for this little live, I'm not going to look at it, but I might, consider it as the day comes closer. But yeah, so what do we got? What kind of aspects are the nodes and Uranus making? I can tell you that Uranus is almost opposite of this happening. It's Uranus here. That's the symbol at 19 degrees of Taurus. If it were making an exact opposition, that would mean it would be something that was happening in Scorpio, but it's not. So I am calling that a quincunx, um, which is, for me, that's a hard sort of aspect, in that it's difficult to reconcile the tension. So I'm wondering about the tension between beginning this new cycle with an open mind and with an emphasis on nurturing oneself, and how that might be at odds with some surprises or maybe eclecticism or innovations in the Taurus house of my chart. Um, Taurus is a very physical, like what can I experience with my senses kind of sign, so tangible for sure. So I'm wondering about tangible experiences in the Taurus house of my chart that might make me feel at odds with this new phase of life that I might be experiencing in my self identity and maybe self care or ancestral veneration sorts of practices. And yeah, I would be curious about what houses this affects for other. So for me, this is the first house sort of tension. Um, yeah. Let me know in the chat if you want to share what houses yours are doing their things in. But yeah, that's something to look at. And what else did we say? Oh, yeah, the nodes. So the nodes are, let me see. We got the south node in a 30, 60. Okay, we got the south node in a sextile to this. So then does that mean that we've got the north node in a trine? Yes. Yes. Using math to help us understand astrology. So I'm going to focus on the North Node. The North Node is also expanding things. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't understand the depths of astrology, but I want to learn. Well, shit, bruh. I'm here for you. Do you know what house you have Sagittarius in? Let me know if you do know, or if you want me to look it up. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So yeah, the nodes. I'm gonna focus on the north nodes. We got the north node making a trine to this new moon. Trine is a really supportive aspect. And so we know also that the north node is expanding things. And if the north node is in Aries, it's expanding something about the kind of Aries notions of life. So like being able to stand on your own as an individual instead of like in groups or in relationships. Being able to put yourself first is something that I think about in terms of Aries North Node energy and expanding and making these things bigger. I also see that it is at a 21 degree. 21 degrees is kind of it's associated with Gemini. So again, I'm thinking about your thoughts, limiting beliefs that you might have in your head. Maybe the role of writing this down and journaling or blogging or talking it out with a good friend. But yeah, something about standing on your own as an individual is in support of what's happening with the new moon. And the new moon is asking us to make a new phase in our limiting beliefs, our open mindedness, expanding our thought patterns and expanding our worldview. Um, so, yeah, that feels like a really important aspect. And yeah, if that's the positive thing that is affecting this transit, then yeah, the negative, and I'm using that loosely, might be okay, something in your physical reality says that you can't or shouldn't expand your thoughts. Um, and so, how is that like at odds with what you want to do? And how can you remember that if you stand on your own to prioritize yourself, um, maybe even be selfish, and maybe even write about how you are doing all of that work, that it might somehow support starting something new in the Sagittarius area of your chart? I hope that that makes sense. Um, yeah. I see, I temper. I see that you said something that you about having Sag in Saturn. Oh, having your Saturn in Sag. So when I think about Saturn, I think about doing the work, and I think about doing the work over time. Like it's a little bit of work every day. And it's like kind of like a constant life lesson. But Saturn is almost assured success because you're doing a little bit of work every day. So, yeah, if you've got Saturn tied up in this new moon in Sagittarius, I wonder what it means to do a little bit of work every day to start this new phase of expanding your mind, opening up your worldview, thinking about things in a more positive sense. Yeah. So that's everything that I would say about that. Um, yeah. For the new moon for December. I also want to take a little side trip to look at Reggie Johnson's birthday, just because I'd be so fucking curious about people's chart. Reggie, do you know your birth time? That's kind of what I need, your birth time and birth date and birthplace, if you wouldn't mind putting that in the chat. And I would gladly look up your chart for you. I love doing that shit. Yeah. So yeah, temper, does that make sense in terms of having your Saturn in Sagittarius? I don't know what house it's in, so I don't know what area of life that would be for you. But it's definitely something to look at. Oh, hey, Dottie. 3:30 p.m. Saturday, Atlanta. But what's the birth date though? I don't know what next Friday is. Is it the 8th? I think it is. Oh, but also I would need the year. So just go ahead and put your birthday in there. Let's go back to the opening page. No worries. And we're going to look up a birth chart. Oh, and also happy early birthday. So it is 12. Wait, no. 8. 12. 1973. And the time, 3:30 p.m., you said. And you were born in Atlanta. Oh, Grady, baby. I don't know when I'm coming back to Atlanta. There's just nothing there for me anymore. I mean, I'm sure there is something, but it's not calling me, you know? Aw. All right. This is your birth chart. Um, I just wanted to check your birth chart real quick to get your sun moon rising, and then we'll look at the chart for what it looks like on the 8th. So we got Sagittarius sun, we've got a Taurus moon at the end of Taurus, and a Taurus rising. Anything else jump out at me? Oh, you got your North Node in Sagittarius. So this new moon might affect you a little bit more than other folks. The one that was on the 12th. Okay, winning lottery numbers. Oh, man. An interesting chart. I love looking at people's charts. Look at this Libra stellium and how much Libra energy you have in the world. But you be walking through the world talking about I'm a Sagittarius. Really? Look at all of that. Okay. Help me remember Sagittarius sun, Taurus rising, Taurus moon. Now let's look at the chart for December 8th. Nice. All right. Okay. So just making just like some really quick little interesting things that I see. I see that on that day of your birthday, that Mars is going to be really close to or in conjunction with your sun sign. So you might have a little bit more energy to do things. So if you are looking to do any particular birthday activities that you've been thinking, oh, maybe I don't have the energy to do that, you might actually have the energy to do that on that particular day. And maybe for another 36 hours after that, Mars moves pretty fast. So that's something to think about. Oh, the moon will be in Scorpio on that day. So you might, yeah, and Scorpio would be in the 7th house on that day. And so there might be something about relationships that comes up, but like in a good way, like in an emotionally supportive way. Um, if you're not in relationship, I would, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It looks like the moon is in Scorpio that day, but it's actually in Libra. So yeah, still related to relationships, but probably even more positive. So yeah, never mind the thing that I was about to say. Sometimes Scorpio moons can be a little like dark and moody. But yeah, with the moon in Libra, you're probably going to be feeling really good, and you're probably going to want to connect with people, and you'll have that Mars conjunct your sun, so you might have the actual energy to be able to do so. Um, we have Jupiter in Taurus, close to what your rising sign was. Hold on. 14 degrees. Yeah, you'll have Jupiter close to your rising on that day. So you might feel a little bit more expansive in terms of, oh, I have an open mind. I'm willing to explore new avenues of things, especially if it is new tourist type experiences. So, again, tangible experiences, new foods, new creature comforts, feeling sumptuous and sensual, like that kind of vibe. Um, yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything that feels particularly hard. Oh, Mercury in Capricorn feels a little difficult, but I wouldn't I wouldn't dwell on it. Mercury in Capricorn, a lot of times it leads to people speaking like, I'm the boss, I'm in charge, I know what's best for you. So, just watch any company that you keep and make sure that y'all are talking to each other nice, I guess I'll say. Nobody's the boss. We're in this together, we're working on it together. Yeah. There's nothing else that really jumps out at me other than having more energy, maybe more energy for sumptuous Taurian sorts of pleasures, new smells, new tastes, new experiences there. And yeah, the moon being in Libra would be a good time to connect with other folks. Um, so yeah, that's what I got for your birthday, Reggie. All right. That's what I got. Oh, feel free to. Do you want to take a screen cap real quick? I'll give you a couple seconds to look. This is your chart that happens on December 8th, 2023, not your birth chart. Let me know if you want me to go back to your birth chart so you can take a screen cap of that as well. You got it? Cool, cool, cool. All right, friends, that's everything that I have for the new moon that's coming up. And I guess I should get back to writing my astrology column. Uh Maybe after a snack. Anyways, I love y'all. I hope you have a good rest of the day. Take good care. Bye.